So in sound design, pitch is a very, very powerful tool. In Logic Pro, there's a couple of ways you can go about manipulating pitch. One of them is through flex time, which if you hit your Command F keyboard shortcut, or there's a little button up here, it'll bring you into your flex time view. Here you've got a bunch of options that you can pick from, be it polyphonic, monophonic, slicing, rhythmic, speed, or tempophone. For this tutorial, speed is the one I'll be showing you because it will give you pitch shifting qualities. So if I show you the sample first without any sort of additions to it, hello. Then compared to if I turn it back on and then drag it out,
Hello.
not only is it slower, but it's also lower. Now, this is really, really good because one of the things you'll notice is no matter how far I drag it out, it doesn't sound choppy or robot-y, or there's nothing weird added in, because this is very similar to playing on a tape machine. When you just play it at half speed or quarter speed, you get both basically in this case, time and pitch are very connected. So if you try to change pitch without changing time, there's a lot of math that has to be done by the computer to try to assume what that is going to sound like. Same with changing time without changing pitch. So if I were to play this with monophonic, hello, it starts to get really robotic sounding and have some weird qualities to it. Hello, because it's adding in samples and stuff. Here with speed, it's literally just a perfect tape slowdown, essentially. So you get the purest representation of the sound at a lower pitch. There are plugins that let you do this as well, but they like changing the speed without changing pitch. Vice versa with this. Changing pitch without changing speed gets you a lot of weird things as well. This particular sample,
Hello.
you get a bit of... I'll play it one more time a little bit lower.
Hello.
It sounds, there's a little bit of choppiness to it. It also comes through when I play it higher as well.
Hello.
There are just some slight differences. It sounds a little rougher. It doesn't sound as smooth. So that's kind of one of the downsides to the pitch shift plugin. The next one is Vocal Transform, which has a format knob compared to a pitch knob, so it's not just one or the other. It also has Robotize, which is kind of cool. You can make it sound hello, unit like it's just playing one particular pitch. So you're locking the pitch with Robotize. But one of the things that this is good at is changing the format and the pitch separately. So if we bring the pitch way down, the format way up,
Hello.
you have a higher voice but lower frequencies through pitch. Vice versa.
Again.
It's a way to change essentially two different separate parameters, because pitch and formant are different things. Pitch is the fundamental frequencies, but formant is something to do with the ordering of the frequencies across the frequency spectrum. I'm not 100% sure on this. Next is AU pitch, which is kind of hidden away in the back of Logic. So you open up your plugins, go to audio units, and then Apple, and then you have all of these AU audio unit plugins, which under pitch is a very interesting plugin that I only use because it lets you smoothly transition up the pitch spectrum through cents as opposed to just semitones. One of the ways this is really cool, there's a weird bug with it, by the way, which I don't know why it happens, but it keeps this little meter up, which is really annoying. But one of the ways that you can do something interesting with this is if you add it onto a track, go to automation, pitch, AU pitch, and then pitch. You can bring up a automation bar for it, and then smoothly transition up pitch to have this kind of charge up sound. Whereas if you try to do this with the pitch shift, you could only move stepwise, because as you can see, it only moves up one semitone at a time or cent. So you would have to go in and go up one semitone and then up 100 cents and then up another semitone while going back down here and then up another 100 cents, which is super duper tedious and difficult to do. Whereas this, you can just use a really smooth transition. So for most practices, you'll probably want to use just flex time and slow down your sample to make it sound lower. This works really well with voices to make it sound like it's a giant beast as opposed to just a human, or speeding it up and having higher pitch to make it sound like it's a smaller human or creature. And then if you want to have longer transitions along a smoother path, then AU pitch is pretty good for that. But if you do want all these additional weird things that you get from pitch shift and vocal transform, they do have a lot of benefits, but for just pure sound design, for pitching up and pitching down, they'll give you a lot of extra artifacts. So that's how you can utilize pitch through Logic Pro without having to buy anything.